Downers is a fairly large company. We have approaching 5,000 staff, and our fuel consumption is approaching 1.2 million litres per month. So clearly we're a big consumer of energy.
When I first started with Downer, I guess my first thought was how to turn a company that's so large into being a more efficient organisation. It uses so much energy, and it's just a massive challenge to make a real difference.
Downers came to EECA for some support and advice around how they could reduce their fuel costs. The experience that EECA has indicates that up to 10 to 15% savings available in the transport area.
Lots of our teams were asked what could be the one thing you could do to improve fuel efficiency in your department, and most of them said driver training. It's really great that the guys came up with it themselves, so it made our job a lot easier in terms of implementing it. What they do is they go out and they do a drive how they normally would. We measure their foot movements, so how many times they've accelerated and braked and changed gears. Then they come back and they have a session with an experienced trainer about how to drive their vehicle more fuel efficiently. A lot of these guys are really well trained drivers anyway, so it's really about giving them some tools that make it more efficient. Then they go out and have another drive, and what happens then is the educator tells them what they should be doing.
Keep your revs in the green.
Things like not moving their feet too much, so if they're using the accelerator and the brake, just to slow that down, look ahead of where they're going and not suddenly brake and accelerate all the time. We measure the exact amount of fuel they used in both those drives, so we've got a really accurate idea of how much fuel saving they've made. Typically around 50 to 60% savings.
It's unbelievable, eh?
It is, yeah.
They're pretty surprised by that. Seeing that kind of number come up, it's totally unexpected.
It seems a very high figure, but that's what we're finding in reality.
60% when you've got someone sitting over your shoulder telling you what to do is pretty good. But we think that over the long term we could probably expect, if people really change their habits, maybe 10 to 15% fuel saving over a long period of time.
Tangible benefits of reducing fuel means obviously we are travelling at lower speeds.
They drive a lot calmer.
Less injuries.
A lot more relaxed.
Less plant and vehicle damage.
A lot less stressed.
And they get home to the family safe and sound at the end of the day. We felt that driver training on its own won't necessarily change behaviours, so we've introduced GPS units.
Well, the GPS is simply a little black box that sits in your engine and tracks where you are.
It allows us to monitor speed,
tracks how much fuel you're using,
driver behaviour,
whether it's idling.
Are you on the move, buddy?
The old adage, what gets measured gets done, and that provided the necessary incentive.
Yeah, just pull up now, mate.
Thank you.
The investment we made was over $4 million, and we see a payback in under 2 years, and we wouldn't be putting that level of investment in unless we had a higher degree of confidence that we're going to get savings out the other end.
We estimate that the New Zealand transport industry uses around $5 billion of energy a year, so that's a huge amount of energy. And so even if we can just save 10% of that, we're talking $500 million a year in terms of savings, which is all on the bottom line of those businesses. So it's good for New Zealand, good for the economy.
If we can reduce energy consumption, we can lower our costs. It allows us to stay competitive and keep making money.
Thanks very much.
The three key areas of energy efficiency are leadership on the top, focus on the key areas of opportunity, and commitment to continuous improvement.
Get some external advice. EECA are a great source of information.